Hey guys, this is Klaus from Team Hoshi Gumi. I haven't uploaded anything in a while, but now that the Q4 booster set has dropped, along with the 2 trial decks, I figured it's right about the time where I come back and make some, videos of deck profiles and whatnot. So we're gonna start it off with my current deck, the Dragonic Overlord. Cue in the theme song. Let's start it off with my deck. I run 12 freaking force markers, but you don't need 12. You only need like 6, probably. 4, 6, probably could pass with 4. Because I think if you're playing this deck right, even before this support, I've never gone over like 4 force marks on the field. So if you want to be safe, run like 6. At most 8. If you're gonna be overdoing it, then go for like 10 or 40. I mean, I bought like a crap ton of like Kai and fucking Overlord just because I want to like build 60 card force markers. But I'm just overdoing it at that point. Ignore that comment. All right, let's get to the main deck. Oof. All right, so obviously Undu is my fucking I'm not saying name. Undu, that's what I call it. It's my starter. You might be wondering, hey Klaus, why is the background different than the one I got from Trial Deck? Is that a fake card? No, it's a caravan card. If you went to the caravan or went to the regionals, you could have gotten this deck, the Kagero deck, and I happened to get it from the regionals. So yeah, that's why mine's a little bit different, along with my triggers too. So all the starters are currently like pretty generic. Ride it, draw a card. I run 8 crits. Again, different background because of caravan. So 8 crits, followed by, of course, 4 heal, and then lastly 4 draw PGs. If you're building a budget deck, you don't need this per se, but if you're trying to go competitively, you definitely need it. Thankfully, they're really cheap right now. They're like $2.50 a pop. So for $5, for like $5, you get 2. $10, you get fucking a playset. So it's a little bit cheaper than what it was originally at sneak peek prices. So that's it for the grade 0 lineup, along with the starter. Let's move on to the grade 1 lineup. So you definitely want to run a playset of Airmo. I saw some people run 3 of, but it's a mistake because Airmo is so good because of the fact that you can countercharge with it and along with draw. So when it's boosting, it gains 3,000. Doesn't have to be that you have more rear guards or whatever. It just is as long as it's boosted. So that's already fucking good as it is. So that's an 11k booster unit, and when your opponent's rear guard is retired during your turn, keep in mind retired means like as if it gets destroyed by field or combat or skill or whatever, it can trigger. So anytime a unit is destroyed on the opponent's rear guard, you can retire this, countercharge, draw a card, and then countercharge 1. And currently, there's no way to countercharge a deck aside from this, to my knowledge. There's no draw, like, there's no fucking PGs that can countercharge like they did in G format, and all that shit. So currently, this is the only way for you to countercharge. So you want to run a playset, of course. Alright, let's put down this side right here. Followed by, I'm running a playset of Bar. I might change that. I haven't decided. But a playset because I like its skill, where you get to retire by counter blasting 1 and soul blasting 1. I get to choose one of the opponent's rear guards as long as it's grade 2 or less in the same column. Keyword column. So, and on top of it, after you do that, if you have more rear guards than your opponent, this gains a 5,000. So there are cases where like this becomes a 13k beat stick for me to swing at my opponent. So comes in clutch. These 2, you can chain it off, so you just soul blast 1 and you're getting a draw and retire unit, so keep that in mind. This is very useful also against Royal Paladin decks and Nova Grappling decks. Okay, moving on. I run 3 copies of Ralpia. He gains power 5,000 for every time a unit is destroyed. It doesn't matter which circle he's in. He gets it in Vanguard Circle and Rearguard Circle. So it's not once per turn, so you can stack up power like crazy with this one card. Last but not least, the fucking MVP of the Kagero deck currently, Gaius. Gaius, essentially, when this unit is boosting a grade 3 unit or a greater unit, Counterblast 1, put this into the soul, and the boosted unit gains a crit. Now, some people don't use this like they should. This doesn't state that it has to be a Vanguard it's boosting. It just strictly says a grade 3 unit. So, should you choose to run grade 3s in the rear guard and you boost it with this one and you have enough Counterblast, that grade 3 in the front rear guard is going to be a 13k beat stick with an extra crit. So keep that in mind. Moving on to the grade 2s. Alright. So, of course, the MVP of the grade 2 lineup is the freaking Berserk Dragon. Now, Berserk Dragon's skill is that when it enters the Vanguard Circle or Rearguard Circle, Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, choose your opponent's one of your opponent's rearguard and retire it. And the freaking best part about this card is that if this rides into the Vanguard Circle, you do that skill, you get to also draw. And because how the card is worded, it doesn't have to retire in order for this for you to draw. So let's say right into this at grade 2, my opponent clearly knows that I'm going to fuck up all his rear guards, so they're not going to put anything down. But I decided to Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, I can still draw for that shit. And then second part, when this unit attacks as a rear guard to your opponent's Vanguard, it gains 3,000. So in the rear guard, it's already a 13k beat stick, baby. That's all I wanted. I run a playset of Nahalem. Not the Caravan Nahalem. That shit is horrible. This is from the trial deck. You Counterblast 1, retire one of your opponent's unit in the back row, and get 5,000. So, say fuck you to Royals. Say fuck you to OTT. Well, to OTT, I guess you can go get around with it somewhat. But fuck you to Royals and fuck you to Novas. Burn that fucking starter. Burn that fucking Pongo. Burn all that fucking other rear guards. And gain 5,000 for that shit. Alright. Moving on to the last grade 2, I run 3 Spillover Dragon. Alright, so there's a lot of question about this and dispute about this. I think between Spillover Dragon, I forgot the other grade 2 unit. I can't remember what it is right now because I'm a scrub. Give me 1 second. Let me look it up on Wiki. Alright, what was the name? I know that it's the unit that gains power for every fucking time a unit gets destroyed, retired. It's a grade 2. Where are you at? I think it's called, nope, not Prowling. That's a piece of shit card. God, never use Prowling. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm thinking I almost have it. Nope. Yeah. Bellow City Dragon. That's what it was called. So, this card, the Bellow City Dragon. Oh, there you go. So, his skill is when an opponent's rear guard is retired during your turn, this gains 5,000. You can argue, yeah, it's a lot better card because it will be a major like a beat stick column. But in my opinion, it's okay. Like, I'm not gonna run that. I'd rather run Spillover Dragon because I can do combos with this shit. So, Spillover Dragon is, in my opinion, better because after it attacks a Vanguard, your opponent's Vanguard, Counterblast 1, put this into your soul, and you can choose any of your opponent's rear guards as long as they're grade 2 or less. So, after I attack, sometimes, it chains off with fucking Airmo, for fuck's sakes. So if I boost it with Airmo, that's fucking 21 beat stick right there. Activate his skill, Counterblast 1, put it in his soul, retire opponent's rear guard. Retire this shit for his own skill, countercharge it, and draw a card. Getting rid of rearguard is so crippling to Novas and Royals, which are fucking annoying. Both clans are stupidly annoying. That you need to abuse the shit out of this 2 cards. So that's it for grade 2s. We're moving on to the grade 3s. Alright, of course, you're gonna run a playset of fucking Waterfall Dragon. This is the best motherfucking card for Kagero right now. Like, when you ride into this, you can just say final turn and say fuck you, because you ain't gonna do shit this turn. Because his first, let me explain to you why. His first skill, upon riding Vanguard, retire an opponent's rear guard. Grade 2 or less, by the wait. Let me rephrase that. Grade 2 or greater rear guards. So obviously you're gonna burn up their interceptors. Say fuck you, burn it up. It's just like how I just threw all my fucking cards. Just burn that shit. I mean, and if you have any of your fucking like other rear guards out that can combo off of that shit, just saying, Velocity Dragon, I guess at this point too. Just saying, it will be fucking useful. And then we'll get back into the other card. This guy in a little bit, but gonna continue on my little rant about Waterfall Dragon skill. All right, so the first skill is meh, no biggie, typical Kagero shit, whatever. But hold the fuck up, bitch, because the second part is where it's at. So when this Vanguard attacks, Soul Blast 1 grade 3, and if you do, and until end of that battle, this gains additional 10k and a crit, and then your opponent cannot call Sentinels to the Guardian Circle from hand. Notice how they say Sentinels. Now, the reason why they purposely mention Sentinels instead of like specific grade or whatever means OTT can't use their protect gift markers. You can't do draw PGs. You can't do grade 1 PGs. So pretty much PG's out of the fucking question. So you have to guard it with anything but a fucking motherfucking PG. So like, you wouldn't obviously ride this as your first ride, like first grade 3 ride. You ride it as a second ride. That's gonna be at least a 33k beat stick before you do the Soul Blast. So once you Soul Blast, it'll obviously be like fucking 43k beat stick. So it gets pretty deadly. Last obviously is a Dragonic Overlord. I run a playset of them. I'm thinking about changing this out for the original rare. I mean, I have it, but I just kept this one because I liked how it looked. But yeah, what can I say? He's your ideal first ride. If you fucking hit, so counterblast 1, discard 2 card, restand it, and attack. But it's only once per turn, so you can't abuse the fuck out of it, sadly. Like you could have the OG card. And his first skill, X skill, is just Soul Blast 1, getting 10,000k. That is useful. It's just a beat stick. It's going to help you burn out your opponent's cards a lot faster. I've seen a couple people run 9 grade 3s, and one of them being this fucking useless as grade 3 card. Here it is, this piece of shit. I've seen people run Cruel Dragon as their 9th card, or like remove one of these and put like 8 with this one card. Big mistake. You don't need Cruel Dragon. Cruel Dragon's only useful, I guess, arguably, is the first kill, I believe, where your opponent's rear guard is retired during that turn. You can call this from your hand from the to the rear guard, regardless of what your grade of your Vanguard is. I guess. I mean, in your grade 2 when you fucking use this skill, I guess you can use Berserk Dragon skill and call it out. I wouldn't do it, but if you really want to, yes. Second skill is when this hits a Vanguard, you can return this to the hand and Soul Charge 1. I don't know. I personally think it's garbage, so I don't even put that anywhere close to my fucking deck. Because I actually like winning games, not losing games. Alright, so that's the main part of the deck profile. I guess last thing I'll talk about is like few combos you can do, or some pros and cons, I guess. Combos, there's only like one major combo you need to remember, and if you remember this, you're gonna win games. So, when you have Waterfall Dragon, let's say, that I rode on top of this Dragonic Overlord, you have this piece of shit behind it. Obviously, that would, with another grade 3 underneath, this will be 2 force markers at this point. So during my Vanguard is attack. When I attack with it, boost it, counterblast one card. Let me counterblast one card. I can, well, let me do this in the correct order. So when he attacks, Soul Blast the Grade 3, gains 10,000, and then additional crit. So now this is already a fucking 2, 3, 4, 43k. And then use his skill, Counterblast, put it into the fucking soul. Now this is a 43k beat stick with an extra crit, and your opponent cannot PG. So say fuck you bitches and kill them all. Second combo, I mean I already mentioned this before, but fucking Gaius can work from the rear guard too. So if I was attacking, boost it, counterblast one, put it to the soul. This is a 13k beat stick with an extra crit as a rear guard. So that's combo 2. I mean, my personal favorite is Aramo with fucking Spillover Dragon. Attack the opponent's Vanguard. That's a 21k. They block it, they don't block it, whatever. Counterblast one, put this to the soul, and retire one of your opponent's rear guards that is grade 2 or less. Retire, Aramo skill, retire this, draw a card, and countercharge. What else is there? What other good combos personally do I like? I mean, I have this out sometimes with that combo, so now this becomes a 13k beat stick and attack your opponents. Berserk Dragon, like we talked about, on ride, Counterblast, Soul Blast 1, draw a card, retire if you want. You don't have, you have. It doesn't say you have to. Oh yeah, it does, but you don't need to retire in order to draw. So yeah, there's that. So that's about it in terms of deck profile. Kagero does pretty well. I think personally Kagero I've seen Kagero consistently top around my locals and nearby states too. In Japan, the main tier, like tier 1 or the meta deck is OTT. But yeah, I guess the only deck that I have a hard time with Kagero is against OTT because they're fucking PGs and whatever. Until I get to the waterfall. Once I get to the waterfall, I don't give a fuck what you have in your hand. I mean, they draw a lot, but I don't give a fuck. Waterfall is gonna just burn it all and just smack you in the face. So personally, I think Kagero is a tier 1 deck. I might be biased, but yeah. Well, that's about it for the Kagero deck profile. Sorry, I dabbled on like a lot. So give it a thumbs up if you learned something today. If you didn't, well, oh well. But yeah, go subscribe, you filthy casual. Peace.